Ooh, what's up, jobbers, and welcome to the latest edition of the Jobber Knocker podcast. As always, Nestlemania alongside for the right is a man that would definitely win the King of a Ring tournament and then actually use it to go for the WWE title, JC.
Is it true if you don't use it, you lose it? In this case, Adam, that is correct.
That is correct. May I say, we can get into it later, but slightly disappointing.
Oh, slightly is not the word. I would say very, 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 very disappointing. Because what's the point?
Anyway, we've got a lot to talk about. We've got Night of Champions. We could talk about NXT as well. We could talk maybe a little bit about that Forbidden Door, backdoor thing, and everything else we've got to talk about
A
here.
backdoor would have been better than the Forbidden Door, right?
Well,
Am I right?
Am I right? I don't
Did
know.
anything change hands on that show, or was it just Retain Mania?
Oh God, that is an excellent question.
And Osprey and Monet won because, of course, they did, which is what
they
it
have
should
to have
be.
stars, so yeah.
They have two, three and a half, four.
I don't know. The whole we can talk about it at some point. What would you like to
do?
Did
the internet get excited over Zach Boring Restholds Jr.
and the Kenny Omega?
Yeah,
I didn't see a lot. Here's the thing: no matter what happens, no matter how great Forbidden Door was, the circular cage, the explosions, all the doodads and whatnot, at the end of the day, doesn't matter. Sami Zayn is the headline, so doesn't matter who did what.
Well, here's my headlines from the weekend. Number 1, Kendall Gray. Number 2, Sami Zayn. Number 3, I'll save it for the shine. But Nestlemania, we should probably get into Night of Champions.
If you want to go to Night of Champions, we shall go to Night of Champions. It's choose your own adventure. The first hour was free on ESPN, as they always like to tout. And I was pretty perplexed when I saw that they just ripped right into the Queen and King of the Ring right there. 8 minutes. Obafemi beats Jey Uso. We thought that it would be the other way around.
Well, because we thought Brock would be returning on Sunday, but it turns out, as we're going to get into later, they don't give a fuck about the King of the Ring because it means nothing.
All right. Well,
but yeah, Oba beat him. Like, if you're going to have a real wrestling match, then that's how it should have gone.
8 minutes and a definitive win over Jey Uso. Io Sky defeats Liv Morgan, and as I correctly predicted, she challenged her for fucking SummerSlam, which to me was fucking stupid. But that's just me.
Which is why I thought they shouldn't do it. But you're bearing the lead here. The lead here is that Danhausen cast Liv before. So, spoiler alert, we knew Io was going to win. Spoiler alert for SummerSlam, we know Io was going to win. And the Judgment Day is finally going to start falling apart, Adam, it appears.
Who the fuck is Adam? Also, I also thought to myself, I wouldn't mind seeing Liv and Dom versus Io and Danhausen at, some type of wrestling match at some point. It'd be fun. And seeing Io dress up like Danhausen would be fucking hilarious to me. I don't know. So that's just me. It is what it is. Okay. Doesn't fucking impress you. That's fine. Right.
Doesn't impress me much. You know, he's got a curse and now he's got some slaves.
Okay. Anyway,
yeah.
Moving on to the rest of this, we've got a steel cage match where Seth Rollins defeats Braun Breaker, which all sorts of things could go wrong here if you look at it. We can talk more about it on Monday.
I zoned out for this entire match. I'm not going to lie.
People thought it was a masterpiece. I'll be honest.
Of course they did, but it has a steel cage, so that's not true. But yeah, I just I'm curious where they go with Braun from here, because he's racking up a couple L's in a row here. So
okay, fair enough. Danny's saying that Judgment Day is going to fall apart and give Roxanne that big singles run.
That's what we want, baby. That's what we want.
Daniel's usually got the pulse. He knows what he's talking about. Moving on, Trick Willie and defeats Ricky Saints. Thanks for coming. 10 minutes, 50 seconds.
Saints for coming.
Saints for coming, as we can say. And I didn't like the Little Yachty people's elbow. But other than that, whatever. It's like, here we
Better
are.
elbow than CM Punk?
Yeah, actually, you know what? I'll give it to him. I'll fucking give it to him. You know why? Because Little Yachty, at least you can tell, wants it to be good. CM Punk gets to the top rope and he's like, my hip. I'm old. My hip. That's it. That's all I got. Moving on. Tiffany Stratton defeats Jay Cargill with a lot of help here. 7 minutes and 35 seconds because of Charlotte and her best friend, that is her best friend there, and she wins. Couldn't give less of a shit about this match. It is what it is. The big one, the big fucking one that absolutely shocked everybody. Sami Zayn defeats Cody Rhodes clean as a fucking sheet, as JC would say. 18 minutes, 40 seconds. This one was fast and furious. I didn't like the finish, but I did like that it was clean.
It's if that's how Sammy had to win, roll up off just utter nonsense. We said triple threat. If there was ever a time to do it, it was now. The celebration, it being in Saudi, it lined up where if Money in the Bank was happening before, this would have made sense. So now we head into SummerSlam, and it'll probably Sammy versus Cody rematch. But yeah, no, this is pretty much what I laid out that we wanted to see. Just didn't know if WWE had the balls to do it, but they did.
I was pleasantly surprised. I was happy for him, even though I'm sure he's not a fan of the knocker. But man, what a long time. And he had a great promo afterwards, which I don't know if everybody can really say that Sami Zayn promo was an Austin 316 from King of the Ring. I don't believe that at all. I think people are very hyperbolic when it comes to that kind of stuff. But I will say that Sami Zayn, you could feel the passion and the emotion and the long journey. It took him 20 years to get there. And I think he even said in an interview, I thought I missed my window. You know what I mean? So like he didn't
felt like he did.
And he didn't. And he found his groove with this new character, or this new wrinkle of a character. And I just thought it was great. I'm curious to see what happens. It feels like he's a transitional champion, which I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think there's some meat on the bone here. And I do believe that Cody Rhodes does need a break. I think I'm not trying to appease Josh when I say this.
Who?
I'm not trying to appease JC.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
When I'm saying this, but I think Cody Rhodes has entered the discussion of he can be bigger than the title at this point.
Yeah, I don't disagree. It's like when you have two of them and he's your biggest star, it's hard not to have. Mm-hmm. We see it all the time. But I think he should take some well-deserved time off after SummerSlam. However, they decide to have Sami retain. But yeah, I'm curious. Do you think? I mean, Sammy's kind of a heel now. Gunther's a heel. Who do you envision as the one that he's transitioning to?
I still think there can be a case made on SmackDown because I think they might give him a little bit of a run here.
Okay. But you just called him a transitional champion.
No, I know. But like in my head, I was thinking the logical choice here, in my opinion, was okay. Obo was going to win. Obo was going to steamroll Sami and then have the championship. But clearly we can talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
And
I wanted Obo Roman, and then he could have lost.
I know, but I think here's the thing. If they're not giving us Obo Roman at SummerSlam, which they thought that's how it made it feel for us as fans. If they're going to do that, which they're not, I feel like they're going to save that for WrestleMania. If The Rock doesn't show up. That's
them doing Roman Seth now, it very well could be. I mean, Obo could just win the Rumble.
I feel like that's the case. And we can talk more about the not cashing in the fucking title and all that shit in a minute. But I think that's it. The other thing that threw a wrinkle into my thing here was I have a real big feeling that CM Punk is going to win the WWE Championship all the way into Mania, and then Cody Rhodes is going to win the Rumble, and then we're going to have Cody or the Elimination Chamber or whatever, and Cody will win it back in dramatic Cody fashion. So, because here's the thing, if Cody and Punk don't face each other at SummerSlam, once again, the same thing could be said. That's a Mania match.
Yeah, but
they don't need a title. They don't need a title.
I was going to say, you just made the argument they might not need the title.
No, I know.
Because at some point, I feel like you have to get one of them on Gunther. Because, like, if not, then what are we doing?
I listen, I don't disagree with you, but I feel like we fucked up Gunther for so much of this time.
Yeah, but he'll be fine.
No, I understand. I'm just saying, I'm not worried about him overall. I'm just saying right now, it feels like, what are we doing? Like, he's had his, how many shots, right? Like 3 shots at this point. So at that point, okay, let's move on and do something else, which they seem to be doing if you read the dirties. So I'm just curious how it shakes out. But overall, was not impressed with Night of Champions. I feel like they go over for a cash grab here for the Saudis. And I wouldn't say it's Retain-A-Mania, clearly, but...
well, this was probably the biggest result we ever had over there.
Yeah.
besides the Rumble, obviously. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it was a monumental moment. I'm not going to downplay it for Sami Zayn and for us as fans. That was really cool. Seeing the guy that probably should have never got it, get it, and that's cool. But then that opens the door for the LA Knights of the world. I feel like a Finn Balor could be, you know what I mean? Like you can make arguments if Sami Zayn can do it.
LA Knight might get one at some point. Finn Balor, I don't think he's ever getting another world title.
I just feel like there's an argument to be had here. That's all.
Yeah.
I think Jey Uso knocked down the doors pretty much.
Yeah, but Finn Balor's also like 90 years old, and he's already had it for a second.
Bigger than Mansoor winning the greatest Royal Rumble. I forgot he existed, Daniel. I'll be honest.
Aren't they in AEW or something?
He is. He's in Ring of Honor.
Oh, that's
because the models are in Ring of Honor, right? So
I can promise you I have never watched Ring of Honor since AEW bought it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough watch. Anyway, moving on. Do you want to talk about NXT, or what would you like to do? Would you like to get in the regular?
We can hit a little NXT because I do want to talk about the greatest main event in the histories of the world between Lola Vice and Kendall Gray. Match of the millennia, the year, all-time greatness, the two greatest wrestlers of all time. And it was a cool moment for Kendall. I had a feeling because all night they kept going to that panel with KO and they kept hammering how no titles are changing hand. I was like, the main event's changing hands. And sure enough, it happened. And Kendall's awesome. Lola's awesome. So NXT, once again, best show of the weekend.
Wow. Okay. So I will say this much. I didn't find the rest of the card bad. I thought that Tony was going to get fireballed and he came up on top. And I mean, I kind of figured as much because he wasn't the main event.
Yeah.
But
I guys kind of more expecting like some bullshit, like we were gonna have a faulty finish, but no, they let him win.
I don't feel good about the men's.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
He's big.
Well,
he's bad.
Well, that in
He'll
particular.
Body slam your dad.
Well,
he's big. He's bad. He'll body slam your dad. Pork chop. Right there. There's your two. There's your two. Yeah. Well, that kid won me over in the promo because I've been skeptical, but that right there, I was like, gets it.
Yeah.
Push him.
Yeah. It is what it is. Yeah. There's a lot to be said on NXT. They are doing yeoman's work. They're just trying to reinvent the wheel every single time.
My other big takeaway was Saquon Sugar's new theme music had me fucking crying laughing. Mm. Oh, Saquon! I was like, what the fuck? Oh, it fucking killed me.
Danny's asking, when do we have minutes of silence for JC, Lola, and Cody losing the titles in the same week?
I didn't even think of that, but I kind of wanted Sami to win, and Kendall Gray's my second favorite wrestler on NXT, so it didn't hurt that bad, if we're being honest.
Also, this was something that was hot on in my circle of friends, and I'm curious how it felt for the Knocker and the rest of the world here, since we're talking about it. Obafemi.
Mm-hmm.
Tapped out, kind of. If you watch the clip, when he was in the sleeper hold with Jey Uso, he tapped out. And if you listen to Jey Uso on Monday's commentary, he said, let's hashtag justice for Jey. Oba tapped out. And I was like, interesting. Now, obviously, he was revving up to get off the mat.
Yeah.
But, I wouldn't say it was a rookie mistake, but I would say
that happens a lot when I'm watching like people get it's something that I feel like as wrestling fans we're pretty much used to it, but yeah, no, it's definitely something you see it all the time. Like I'm like, wait, did that person just tap? It's like, no, they're trying to like do something, but
right. But if that was in the UFC, that'd be a call. You know what I mean?
That's a little different, bro.
I'm just saying,
because their submissions are fucking real, not fake.
Are you saying that WWE's not real?
It's still real to me though.
Okay. All right.
Except for Jey Uso. I saw he was on commentary, and I can tell you what I did with that match. Well, on Netflix, you kind of have to like scroll it. It's different.
Send him to AEW Collision. Yeah, well, you could send Jay to AEW Collision. I don't think Jey Uso is going to go to AEW ever. Anyway, I don't think
if Jey Uso won a world title, maybe Mark Briscoe can win one.
Shut the fuck up.
Could you imagine?
Need to talk about AEW Forbidden Door? Do we really need to
just tell me if there's anything that was worth talking about? Nope. Okay.
I mean, I can look.
No.
I will say this much. Did you take a look at the cage? Did you see the circular cage? No. I will say this much. I kind of like the cage.
I didn't watch. I honestly, I did not watch any of it. I read the results. They all kind of went as I expected.
Young Bucks won. Check.
Yep.
Omega won. Check.
Don't care.
Moxley won.
Don't
Check.
care.
Nobody cared about Shota and Pac, it seems. Check.
Don't care.
Obviously, the Tickler had to win.
The Tickler.
Tickler. Her day is coming.
Yep.
Cope
In jolly old
Dopes.
London.
Cope Dopes. Oh, wait. Another Nestle knows. Jay White appeared after us fucking talking about it.
Well, you didn't predict it, but you mentioned his name.
Right?
And
Isn't
he
that fucking
appeared.
funny?
I believe in Jay White.
I laughed my ass off. I was like, this is great. The Bang Bang Gang is back. So I hope they're fucking on television.
Well, know what made me laugh is because our boy Dom is obsessed with fucking Clark Connors, this fucking mid motherfucker. And of course, the original mid motherfucker that Dom tried to push down my throat returns in his moment.
Yeah.
But at least Jay White kind of won me over. I'm like, oh, you're like, okay. He's great with the Bang Bang Gang, but not the greatest of all time, like people were trying to tell me. Yeah. Clark Connors. I'm sorry, Dom. MAF. Mid as fuck.
All right. And then we also had your girl Mercedes, as we talked about, in the longest match. Oh, sorry, not the longest match of the night, but she did almost get the Kenny Omega length there. And then, of course, we had the Team Briscoe win as your boy Andrade turns on MJF and says, fuck Don.
Beautiful. I did like that, actually. I watched that clip.
And then Will Ospreay, big time. I don't like Will Ospreay with the fucking Death Riders because I feel like it is completely unnecessary personally, but
I don't know what it's setting. I'm assuming it's just setting up that Mox is going to be his first fucking feud. Ugh.
I don't know. But I did like the cage. The circular cage was a nice touch, I thought personally, but
better than a regular cage.
It just looked different, and I like different. I do.
The more elimination chamber. I think I did see a picture of it, but I just didn't really care.
It just looked like, I mean, it was literally a perfect circle, but it was huge. It was like so 12 people could go around and do whatever the fuck they wanted, which again,
elimination chamber.
Yeah, I mean, without a top, it was pretty cool. I mean, I liked it. Overall, Forbidden Door to me was a concept that mattered when we couldn't have Forbidden Door kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But now
everyone's doing it.
It feels like it's not important anymore. So
yeah.
Like I don't look forward to it as much anymore. Like
it's the worst show they do all year for us regular
I'm just
fans.
trying to figure out, like, can you replace that pay-per-view with something of substantial matter? Like, I don't know. Like I don't think you can.
It's the worst pay-per-view they do because besides like the 300 people that watch all that stuff, like all of it in totality, we don't know who these fucking people are. So why do we care?
They don't do a good job telling us why we should watch it. No. Like I think that's really what it boils down to.
But you notice like half the card this year was AEW and AEW because they're learning that the other shit doesn't matter.
Right. Fair enough. There's also TNA in Boston. That happened. Okay.
Am I supposed to have a reaction to that?
No, I just know that my friend got to hold a flag for Ali's entrance. It was pretty cool.
No, I feel like there hasn't been any TNA people on NXT in a while. It's just
they've separated, like,
it's just the AAA peeps.
Daniel, off topic, but why don't we have lumberjack matches anymore? Interesting.
I feel like we had one last year, but yeah, it's been a while. NXT definitely had one like last year.
Do you feel like it's too gimmicky nowadays to have a?
No, there's moments where it works.
Okay, that's fair. For me, I used to love watching the mid-90s when everybody would actually wear the fucking fabric and fucking, the 2x4s and all that shit. Like, I thought that was funny as a kid, but maybe they just think it's hokey. Like, I think the other thing too is when they had like the NXT, was it the NXT underground matches?
Yeah.
Where the ropes are gone and people
Those are similar to lumberjack.
So I would say that's more realistic at least. But I don't know, maybe that's a good point, Dan. I don't really know. Daniel makes a very good point.
I could see that being something that Triple H doesn't like. Because there are certain things where he doesn't like believe in. That could be one of those things. Because I feel like the only ones we've seen in recent memory have been NXT.
All right. Fair enough.
But we'd have
a great point, Dan.
Check.
I'm gonna call him Dan from now on to see if he likes it.
Dan the man.
Daniel Grimwood. Sounds really fancy. All right. Overall, we should just say what a weekend for wrestling. And move on to the Shine.
Always in the Shine, Nestlemania. And I'm going to welcome you to my Solo Sokoa hour because there's nothing in wrestling I want more right now than a Solo Sokoa push. The time started off on SmackDown with the Tongas walking out on him. So he really is Solo Sokoa again. He's riding solo, like Jason Derulo says. And of course, LA Knight shows up. calls out Solo because he wants to know why in the hell you helped me beat Jimmy Uso. And I don't know if you noticed, but there was a GC in the crowd doing a Solo chant, and I was so proud of that human because I love you, Solo. So I just want to point that out. There was a mini chant, but I really like this promo because I'm like, okay, where are they going with this? And Solo made me believe how much he actually does fucking hate the bloodline. I was like, all right, I like that. They're not just gonna fold him in like they have with everyone else. And we already have some weird dissension with like the Usos and Jacob and stuff too. But it's simple. And obviously LA Knight declined him as he should, because why the fuck would you trust Solo Sikoa? But I just love that we're seeing Solo vulnerable, which we haven't seen in a long time, because he recovered from leaving Roman by getting his own bloodline, and he's always been kind of protected, but his name is literally Solo. So now he's solo and he's alone, and he's grasping, trying to figure things out. So I think there's a lot of opportunity with here, especially with a guy like Solo, who we both agree is very good and by far the best Uso. So I'm curious to see what he can do with this character in this range. And then obviously we get to Monday, and Solo kind of helps out LA Knight when he's getting beat down by the Usos.
I don't know if you saw that in the
crowd. Oh yeah,
I
love every time he does it. He makes fun of the Yeet.
I love it.
The dude just gets it. He just gets it. He just gets how to be a wrestler in WWE. That's why I love him.
He's so good at the cinematic stuff. Like he makes you forget you're watching wrestling. He makes you think you're watching a movie. And I know that's probably me just gushing over the guy.
No, but I think the point is, like, with him, like, he came up under like the best version of Roman Reigns, and I think he just learned and he saw these are the things Roman does really, really well character wise. I'm going to absorb that and try to make my own way and focus on that because I see it working.
Yeah,
and it's worked for him because he was already good in the ring. I never had a doubt about that.
No, I personally want him to go. He just needs more of an edge. Like, I feel like they've kind of neutered him in a way.
Yes.
But like, I feel like when I'm watching him, I'm like, when I watched NXT, I had that feeling of like, oh shit, when he gets to the main roster, I'm going to be, and they did a good job with them, but they made him the lapdog for such a long time. And then he got thrusted into a position with that other bloodline that I feel like he wasn't.
It was unfair.
It wasn't like he wasn't ready, but he wasn't completely ready. And he had to learn on the fly, which I think he did a decent job, but it didn't like.
He had to be Roman immediately for a guy that wasn't established.
Right.
And that was, we said, I remember I came on every week. We talked about it every week. We're like, it's an impossible position. He's doing good work, but it's just like, it's not the same because you can't go from like something that people considered one of the best runs in wrestling. No matter what follows it, how good you are, it's not going to measure up. So he's been fighting from behind his whole career. And I still think he's been succeeding because of it. But the reason why I like this is because it's an opportunity for something different with him and some growth character-wise that we haven't seen. Like, whether it ends in a babyface run or what, but it's just like, I know Solo's capable of like taking on these new challenges, and I want to see it because he's a guy that I feel like we've been watching the last year and we're like, can you just do something good with him?
Yeah. Because
he's so good and he can help you carry one of these shows when it's struggling because he can steal a show. And he can carry, he can do multiple segments. He can interact with anyone. He brings the comedy, but you also have to take him seriously. So it's for me, it's exciting. I was excited to watch this. And yeah, it's along with LA Knight, who we're both hot and cold on, but I think this works because even though it's a lot of the same shit with the bloodline, it's like, at least here I'm seeing a different dynamic, which is what I'm looking for when everything else feels the same.
I will say it led me to think that either Saturday night's main event or at SummerSlam, we are getting Solo and LA Knight against the Usos.
Probably SummerSlam, because they're probably not leaving those guys off SummerSlam.
No, I know. I'm just thinking like that seems like a hot angle enough. And I would go as far as I think they might beat the Usos. Like,
I think that would have to make sense.
I feel like there'd be more of a story.
Yeah.
Like the one thing that I thought was interesting. I know you turned off. I don't know if you were serious or not. I assumed you were when you said you muted Jey Uso on commentary.
Oh, I just fast forwarded the whole match.
But he literally said, I am avoiding the tribal chief right now because I did not win King of the Ring.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think that was a throwaway line. And I think that also that, like, there's going to have to be a come to Jesus moment at some point. But
you see who Roman's relying on. It's Jacob's at his side. Jacob's the one doing his orders, and he's not listening to the Usos. So it's by design, which is good because we were just like, the Usos just can't be lapdogs. They just can't. So This is at least like a spin, trying to take something that hasn't been interesting and finding a way. That's why I got excited last couple weeks with Soul getting involved, because I'm like, okay, we're gonna get an opportunity here for something to be different and let these guys get back to what they're good at instead of just the same old shit.
Right. No, I just totally agree with it.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't really talked about Sami per se, but we also didn't talk about Obafemi.
Was Sami on Raw?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Was Sami on Raw? I'm sorry.
I don't think it was. Yeah, I think they're saving for SmackDown.
Okay, yeah.
Oh no, well, I was gonna use Oba as the transition piece.
Okay,
because,
that's fine. That's fine. We'll move on. What
But
else
no,
did you do?
the only other thing I really had is the Danhausen stuff. I mean, come on. Like, when he called Miz and Kit the Legion of Danhausen, I fucking died. And that whole match was just ridiculous with those two just on the outside. And I don't know. It's so fucking hokey, but it just fucking works, man. It's just that nice, like, stupid bullshit just to, like, let my mind just blank out and just laugh and enjoy it.
I did laugh at the Garzas just tripping over shit, but it's like it works. I feel bad for Matt Cardona sometimes, but it's,
yeah, you gotta win.
You gotta.
It was the last time that guy got a win.
Yeah, but there's a lot of good stuff, but I mean, I don't know if there's anything really worth that was highlighty. So
no, yeah, no. Then the next thing I had would be Oba, because I love Oba, and I love Brock Lesnar, and I wanted them to have match number 3, but look, at SummerSlam's 2 nights, dude. Oba and Brock can fight night 1, and then Oba can challenge for a title night 2. What the fuck are we doing? We can transition now. I just don't understand. Like, it just, the minute Brock came out, I was like, oh my God, is he just gonna like say like Brock Lesnar's his thing that he won? Bro, you're already getting that. So it just like, because it didn't even sound like it was a negotiation, be like, you can have the match after SummerSlam. But it's like, no, it's literally 2 nights. You have Brock and Oba night 1, and then Oba challenged somebody, because you can play it up as be like, he went through a war with Brock, he's beat up, so either Roman or Sami could retain, and it wouldn't be that bad. But instead, it's just like, we go through this whole process of King of the Ring. He wins it, and then it's pointless because whoever won King of the Ring is not getting a title shot. It's just like, then what? I don't know. It was just for something that they've been doing so well. I feel like in the lead up, I think the last month and a half has been the best stuff we've got since WrestleMania, storyline wise and everything else. And obviously Oba's a huge part of it. But then you do something like this, I'm just like, what are we doing? Hunter, whose idea was this? Where's my WWE Unreal so I can see which fucking dildo back there? Old fucking Fogey was like, oh, this will be a great idea. Fucking morons, man. I don't get it. I don't get when they pull shit like this.
Well, the whole point was that the King of the Ring is supposed to, or Queen of the Ring is supposed to face somebody at SummerSlam.
Yeah, and that's what Io's doing. She chose the person she beat, whatever.
But I didn't like that either. But
me either. But at least she's challenging for a title. Oba's not challenging for a title.
Well,
he's fighting Brock Lesnar in Hell in a Cell, which is fucking awesome.
You should have
exactly. That's why Brock fly across the fucking ocean, beat up Oba. Jey Uso wins. But I mean, obviously, I'm happy I don't have to watch Jey Uso.
Yeah, but if Jey Uso does face Sami Zayn at SummerSlam, I don't think
he's not. It's gonna be Cody.
Okay.
Have fucking Seth win King of the Ring then. You should have just been a Seth Braun finals. You could have had Oba get screwed in the round. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just weird how they did. It's just weird how they did it. Which is like, yes, it's another accolade for Oba. He looks great with the crown. It makes sense, but it's just like, you literally have 2 nights. Let the man fight twice. He's the biggest thing in wrestling right now that people are excited about. It's fucking him and Trick Williams, because they're new, they're fresh, and they're fucking awesome. So let us fucking strut twice. Both nights we get to strut.
Do you think there's a world we live in where they literally don't have him cash in the crown thing until WrestleMania?
No, I just don't think he is, because you get a match at SummerSlam. If you don't have a SummerSlam, it sounds like you just lose the match. He's foregoing his championship opportunity to fight Brock Lesnar again. Bro, there's 2 nights. I don't know how many times I can say it, Nestle. How many nights of SummerSlam are there this year? 2. Come on. It's not that hard. Not that hard.
I'm just saying, I think that they could pull a whole thing.
Yeah, they can fix it, but they won't.
No, I don't even think they're going to when it comes to SummerSlam. I think they're literally going to be like, hey, I won King of the Ring and never cashed it in. That's what they're going to do.
Well, here's the thing about Oba. It's like, when he wants a title shot, he's just going to get it anyways. So it doesn't fucking matter, especially after he beats Brock Lesnar. So whatever the next pay-per-view is, he'll probably challenge for it. But it's just like, literally the whole point of King of the Ring is to set up number 1 contenders for your main event at SummerSlam. And you just completely wasted the device, and your reasoning is fucking stupid.
They won't care because people are going to be like, oh my God, the Hell in a Cell.
Well, because 90% of the audience doesn't give a fuck and doesn't host a wrestling podcast and just whatever. But it's just like, just try. The internet title.
Copenhagen.
Yeah. I mean, he'd probably win that match.
Woo, woo, woo.
You know it.
Oh, so yeah, I tend to agree with you that I don't mind it. I thought it was pretty cool, but it was just like, what the fuck? The other thing that threw me off was like, okay, so Austin Theory comes backstage and like gets poo-pooed by Heyman, and I'm like, so now Heyman's
He's just ditched the Vision. He thinks the Vision sucks as much as we do.
And like, do we get to a point where Breaker is like, we don't know what the hell's going on with Breaker, but Theory gets thrown into this weird Joe Hendry Street Profits thing. And I was half paying attention because I was doing things. And then all of a sudden he hit a line with, they were like, oh, John Cena ripped you on the mic. And then he said it again. And he was like, yeah, John Cena might have ripped me on the mic, but I beat him at WrestleMania. And I was like, why the fuck would you say that out loud?
Yeah.
Like, you don't ever want to admit someone got the better of you, especially if you're a heel. Like, that makes no fucking sense. You're already fucking like overhyped and mid as it is, and you're not connecting with the crowd. And then you're going to remind people that 3 years ago, you couldn't hold a candle to John Cena and you won anyway. And we're all talking about you not cutting a promo well instead of you winning at WrestleMania against John Cena. I was just like, what are we doing? Like, and then of course we have the fucking match and it's like, whatever, it's entertaining, but like, it's also slightly terrible. I felt like Joe Hendry's not necessarily the best wrestler in the world, but he won. And it's just like, and then of course Montez Ford, flag on the play for Montez Ford, calling fucking Seth Rollins greatest of all time. Sorry, fuck you. Float on the, nope. He's not even in the top 10.
He's not even like in the top 5 right now.
I mean, you could add in other places and he's not the top 10. Like, he's very good. He's top tier,
but he's not.
Calling him the greatest of this generation is
it's just the fucking nut hugging. We can talk about the fucking main event. It's just like the minute I realized that Oprah rescinded, I'm like, great, that means we're just doing Roman Seth, which I personally just don't give a fuck. So be prepared for however many weeks till SummerSlam of me just not giving a fuck. But it's just like the fucking nut hugging. I just don't give a fuck, man. I just don't care. It's insufferable. Yeah, that's all I got. I don't care. I don't care.
Is it a bad recipe of you're not a big Seth guy?
No, I think it's just
entertained by Roman.
There's not, well, those are just part of it, but there's just like nothing like that promo didn't sell me. Like, you, the guy I've never beaten, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, but you guys have always been in each other's orbits. And yeah, like this is a match that needed to be paid off just for injuries and whatever. It just hasn't happened yet. But it's just at this point, it's just like, yeah, they're both just not interesting to me at the moment. And it feels like this match should have happened already. So doing it again now for the title, I'm just like, there's other people I'd rather see involved in the title. So it's just not going to sell me on it. Especially like with the Seth fighting from underneath. It's just, I don't care. Do we think he's going to beat Roman? I don't.
No.
That's why I would have saved this for WrestleMania, because maybe then he does beat Roman. For the title I deserve back. It's like, bro, you had the worst run with that title.
Dami says that nothing new in that segment.
It just felt the same. Felt the same as all their interactions.
I think
they need to have a better segment than that.
They were definitely relying on the fact of the oh shit factor.
Yeah.
And once you got past that, it was like, okay, I'm giving you the gift of facing me because you need this for your legacy. And it's like, I need to beat you. And it's like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you fucking don't. Like, I understand what they're trying to do. But from a standpoint, like right before he said it, I was like, basically, it's like, oh, pride gets in the way. And like the ghost of Seth Rollins will haunt you forever, which I get in a certain aspect of it. But part of me was just like, so what?
Yeah.
So, like, you don't, like, I understand they're thinking like, oh, this will be great. But here's the thing. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns aren't going to have a wrestling match. They're just not. They're going to have a very heavy storyline driven lead up. They're going to show all the bullshit they used to do to each other. They're going to do something Shield related in the match and probably the lead up, because they can't fucking help themselves jerking off with that shit. And I get it. Like, I get it that it mattered, but I don't think, in my opinion, it should end the night. I don't.
It's
I would
probably going to be
love
the main event night too, I would assume. Because I think Brock and Oba will main event night 1. I think this will main event night 2, and Cody Sammy will start one of the shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get it. Like, it's Roman Reigns. I get it. I do. But I feel like maybe I'm in the minority here. But
no, they're like, I think there's a big base of the fans that are going to be excited for this. I think that's going to be a lot more of the people who don't watch all the shows every week. The people that just tune in for like the PLEs and watch clips online. They're going to be excited for this. But I think for the majority of people that watch week in and week out who aren't like diehard Seth or Roman fans, no, just I don't think they're going to care as much. Unless if the writing gets better here, but I don't know. I don't have faith in the type of characters these guys both have right now of this being interesting, because I think they're just gonna like keep pushing the legacy card and it's like whatever, dude.
They seem awfully lazy this time of year. So.
Yeah, they've been lazy with Roman. I think Roman's a little lazy with himself. I will never call Seth lazy, because I know he works his ass off at everything he does. So that is one word I will never call him, because I've never seen that man not give it his all in anything. Doesn't mean it's always good, but I know he's not lazy. I can tell when Roman's lazy, and he's felt pretty lazy in this run.
Okay. Anything else you thought was negative?
Nothing else I even remember. So unless you got anything.
We talked a lot about Raw already.
Yeah.
So I feel like you hit the highlights and lowlights of all the shit we wanted to talk about there. Which again, totally fine. Most of it was innocuous. On SmackDown, we don't really have much to talk about because it's always one of those. It's a lead up before a fucking PLE.
Yeah, so most of the stuff is useless. So
it is, but which is tough to watch because you're like, okay, here we are. So I do want to bring this up. It's not really heat for me, but I am curious your thoughts about this because it seems like it actually might come true. It seems like there is a real possibility that we have Gunther versus Nick Aldis at SummerSlam. And again, I don't know anything. I would like to see it at least happen once. He doesn't need to win. He looks incredible. He's built like a fucking chiseled mountain. Gunther needs a big dub. He's clearly like not where he needs to be in terms of a headspace here. So maybe this is the way to correct the ship. I don't know.
I can tell you why this one works. Because every other time you brought it up, I've slapped you down. The reason why this one works is because this will be Nick Aldis' last match, and it's another name added to Gunther's list. And like you said, it's an easy dub. There doesn't seem to be an obvious opponent for him, since it'll probably be Cody Sami, and there's not an obvious baby face for him to face or someone like that. So I think this is the time where I will say, yes, a Nick Aldis match makes sense, Adam. I would do it.
Let me ask you this. Will you be upset if this is one of those things where it's a Shane McMahon where he just dusts off the fucking shit when he needs to every once in a while instead of it being the last match to help Gunther?
If he wrestles Gunther, it should be his last match.
Okay.
I also believe Nick Aldis is not Shane McMahon. So,
well, in many ways, I'm sure of it.
That's what I mean. It's just I don't think he's looking for that. I think he would love one last go, and having a match on a big show against Gunther would be a great way to finish your wrestling career. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
That could have been your hope, and I wouldn't have poo-pooed it.
Well, that's okay, because you know what? It's all right. It's all right. I had a masterful hope, and like I told you, I woke up in a cold sweat.
I had a good hope for NXT. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make you go first. Glorious! You're my only hope, Adam. The floor is yours.
You know what's funny? As I was looking at this, I was really hoping for Finn Balor and the Tongans to kind of get back together to do maybe some bang bang. I read the spoilers for Friday. Shame on me.
Oh, they already taped it?
They already taped it last night. And boy, well, because it's 4th of July and people need to be with their family.
Good point. Yep, good point.
So clearly I'm going to be wrong about that, but I do wonder what they're going to do with Finn Balor. Because it feels like they should do something with Finn Balor. My hope is that they actually give him something to do, because they moved him to SmackDown. He was in the fucking King of the Ring, didn't win. I feel like he's in this weird space now. They're not going to remake Judgment Day, the originals, even though they're all in the same show. I feel like there's some meat on the bone here for Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. But I also don't know what to do because I feel like
They're both baby faces now, though.
right.
They're-
But I also feel like they're also doing the Hobbs thing, so it's weird to me. But like, I have never seen Finn Balor in WWE be the focal point and in a group. You know what I mean? Like,
he was the focal point when he first got up, and then he got hurt.
well,
'Cause
yeah,
Seth
well, that's his
Rollins.
fucking problem.
No, that
but,
was
like,
Seth Rollins' fault.
Seth Rollins injures people, right?
Start
He's
the
fucking
narrative.
flop jalop. But I just feel like Finn Balor needs something for me because I feel like he's in the back part of his career. He doesn't need to be world champion again, I guess, but give him a little bit of a United States title reign. Give me a juicy storyline to sink my teeth in because I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, could he team with Hobbs and go against Truth and Priest? You know, because it seems I don't know, but like
It's a mid card singles like he's been in. I think that's what unfortunately what it is with him. He's a babyface now though, so it'll be a little different. But they clearly just moved him to SmackDown to get him away from the Judgment Day a little bit. There can be a little willy won't with Priest. You obviously, like you mentioned, the Tongas, Nakamura. Like there's plenty of like little like nerdy indie wrestling like throwbacks they can do there, NXT throwbacks and stuff. But at the end of the day, he's still a part-time guy. So it's just like one of those like it's never gonna be fully consistent. But I think he doesn't care, man. He's at that point in his career. It's just like with AJ towards the end. It's like he's part-time, he shows up, works a little, does a few, then leaves.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's unfortunate because I love Finn, but you know I love Finn Balor. I love everything about Finn Balor except for the stupid sling blade. And I adore him. And I'd be if there was a world where he could have one more run, sure. But he's on the wrestling show. And I think he's just gonna wrestle. He's gonna wrestle Nakamura.
But why? Why can't we do something with him?
Because he's part-time. He's part-time and he's old. There's too many young guys. Like you're gonna beat Trick Williams? I don't think so. You ain't taking that thing ain't coming off Trick anytime soon. And if it does, it ain't gonna be to him. If it comes off, it's going to Mello. Someone else. Someone young.
But they got to do something with him. He
will be on TV when he's around. He'll have wrestle good matches. He'll have a little storylines with these other guys that aren't used a lot, but are like big, like wrestling darlings. Like he's on the roster. Okay, they'll use him for that. But I don't think he's ever going to be in a position where he's carrying again. I think him being in the Judgment Day was probably that was a lot more of him than you'll see him in a single.
But he didn't lead the faction. That's the thing.
He kind of was their de facto leader for a while.
No, I know, but it was like there are no leaders
until Liv show. Yeah, but we knew that was bullshit.
Yeah, obviously. I just feel like here's the thing: you could make your own Bullet Club at this point. Yeah, what the fuck are you gonna do with the Tongans? Honestly, now that
they need to be with someone because they're not really on their own.
What are you gonna do? Put them with Hobbs?
Rice Keys.
You know what I mean? But like,
yeah,
man, they're going. Was it? I think next week after this SmackDown, it's going back to 2 hours, right? I think. Yeah. So a lot of people aren't going to be on my TV.
Well, to Danny, to your comment, first of all, I think we agree he's not on the Seth, Cody, Roman level, and yes, Roman's part-time, but Seth and Cody are full-time. If Seth and Cody were part-time, they'd be in similar position, but they're also like multi-time. We're talking about like 3 guys that have literally carried this company since Cody's been back, and those 2 guys for long before, as you saw in that promo, multi-time world champions. Finn Balor had it once; he had it for a day. We all love Finn Balor, but he's not that level. He's a tier below, and that's why he's always been more of the jobber to the stars, the guy putting people over, because he was in a position where he was going to be put there, and due to injury, he didn't get solidified there. And when he came back, he just never got back to that mountain. It's unfortunate. I love Finn Balor, but it's just like look around WWE, look at all the young stars they have, all the current stars they have. Like it's not going to happen for him. Mid-card title, sure, get another one of those. Why not? But I think it's one of the position. It's like the one that like I accept with the position Rusev's in is where he's going to be. But I'm fine with that because on my TV I get to watch him wrestle and be Rusev. Finn Balor's in a position where when he's there as a part-time employee, he's going to be on TV, he's going to wrestle and whatever. But I wouldn't expect much beyond that at this point in his career.
Go to AEW, be a world champion.
Don't do that. He'd probably get put in the toy box there after like a month too, like they do with everyone. Remember when they cared about Tommaso Ciampa? I don't.
Wow.
Ricochet's like the one guy who's had staying power, which is hilarious. Because he's the man.
Aha!
Yeah, he found a character. It's unbelievable. It's like the one guy, like him and Swerve, guys
Rush
that go from WWE to AEW and get infinitely better.
Leo Rush did a great job too. So
did he?
Yeah, I think he's great.
What's he doing now?
The demon thing? You haven't seen that? No.
Yeah,
it's fucking cool as shit.
It's not the same as these 2 guys.
Okay, that's fair.
Swerve made himself like the face of the company for a while, and Ricochet's just the character's been great, and he's on my TV every week, so I know he still works there.
Okay.
Unlike half the rest of the roster.
Okay. All right. What's your hope, baby?
My hope. Fuck, I had one. Oh, I got it. No, it's simple. We're going NXT. So Tony D. Look, I love Tony D, but this character not doing much for me. It's not working. So just fucking pull the trigger. He's big. He's bad. He'll body slam your dad. Make him the fucking champion, baby. He better be next up. He can beat the little twerp one who called him pork chop. Number one contender match. Then whatever the next PLE is, Mason Rook defeats Tony D'Angelo. I don't know what you do with Tony. I mean, he's awesome. I love Tony D. This character just it's not doing it. So you just put the big guy up there, and then he can feud with all these other new guys he got going on. But he's the fucking man. I want to watch him body slam all the dads. I want to see him have reactions to people calling him pork chop. Pull the fucking trigger on my new favorite wrestler, Mason Rook. Hashtag JC's hopes come true. Hashtag JC knows. Hashtag he's big, he's bad, and he'll body slam your dad.
Do you think? Here's the thing. I think I know the answer to this because you've been a Tony D guy from day one.
Yeah, I love Tony D.
I still think with a little bit more realism, you could make that mob boss character great. I do. And especially here's the thing.
It's a hard one to translate to the main roster, which is why I think they pivoted.
Here's the thing. If you play less of the mob up, right, and you just make him a guy who's like kind of like the Sopranos. Like if you play that kind of card and not necessarily like lean on the fact that it's a mob, it's a wink wink, but like you have that feeling. What I mean, if you make the tribal chief fucking work, and I know that's not the same, but
no, the difference is that there's a lot of really good Samoan wrestlers.
That's fair.
That came with him, and for the Tony D character, when it was most effective, is with the family. But as we saw, Stacks is fine. We'll see if he becomes a main roster guy. Luca clearly wasn't it. Rizzo clearly wasn't it. And it's just it's one of those it's yeah, you can be solo for a bit, but at the end of the day, for that character to really succeed, he needs a family. So until they can, I think that that's part of the reason they had to dissolve it too. But there's a lot of talent in Tony D. He's obviously great in the ring. He's shown he has great range. He's funny. He can cut a really good promo. It just they might have to go back in the lab with him and figure something out because even with the eye patch, he looked like a badass. But I was just I don't feel anything with him. You know what I mean? And that's what wrestling is. It's the connection. I felt that connection with Tony D, the character, and all the things he had to go through, and he had sacrificed whatever, the losses, the big wins he had. But since he's come back, I don't feel a connection at all. And it's weird because again, I'm a fan of the guy, but it's just it's missing. There was an element of him missing, and I don't know if it's that they haven't unlocked it in this character yet, or they just need a new character for him because it's just not. It doesn't feel like this is him. So I don't know. It's a tough position, but I think either way, I think Mason Rook's the guy to take it off him because you actually have some guys now, but
I don't think he's ever going to be on the main roster.
Who? Tony D?
Tony D. I think, unfortunately, he should probably go to Hollywood.
I'd have to think about that because he has the talent to be main roster, but you need to find. I think the reason why they pivot on this gimmick is they're trying to find the gimmick to get him up there, and they haven't found it yet.
Not bad in the ring at all, by the way.
He's great. He's really good in the ring. I think he's one of the best wrestlers. Even when he was in full character, that kind of take away from his in-ring work because he was such a big character. But I'd always watch his matches and be like, that match was good. I've never been oh, that Tony D match was bad. No, it's always been good. He's really good in the ring. So
I think you're right. I think you're right on the money when it comes to the emotional connection.
But you can't. This isn't a guy you cut bait on because it's true. He could easily go to another company and be a big star. But it's especially in NXT, like we've talked about it. There's a lot of opportunity for men's singles wrestlers the past year because look at all those guys got called up and succeeded, and it was already thin then, and now there's so many holes. And all these guys are getting opportunities. Like that other guy who was on. I like that English guy, Tristan Angels. I think he's super good. I know Booker T's in love with him if you watch LFG, but I think he's really good. He's the type of guy I'm looking for. I'm not big on Shiloh Hill. He's always going to be a connection with the crowd. I just find some of the gimmick phony, but there's opportunity for some guys here to really rise up. And obviously Tony D was kind of that transitional guy, and they were hoping that he could establish it. It just hasn't happened. So we'll see. I hope it works out because again, big fan of the guy.
Okay. Time for a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback. I'm going to SmackDown Nestlemania, and much like I gave it to Phoenix last week or the week before, I'm giving it to Nathan Frazier because he had a banner. He's a stud, and I think he reminded everyone that this guy should be on my TV wrestling. Fraxium's obviously a great team, but they have them wrestle singles too. It's just They've talked about wanting to like restock their tag division, and I think that's why you might be seeing the Viking Raiders take it off Priest and Truth, and then we'll figure out what they do. That's why I think the Prophet's taking it on Raw. But it's like you're gonna have to establish these teams. But it's like Frazier and Axiom are so good. Like on their own, like Axiom, we've gone over how I feel about that character. But together, like they're just must see TV. So I was thrilled to see Frazier. Like Axiom had his moment in Spain. Frazier had his in front of close enough home crowd, and I'm going to give him my comeback because every now and then you have to be reminded about how good some of these guys are, and I hope people in the back notice it too, and they continue to get opportunities.
Nathan Frazier and Axiom would be way better in AEW.
Oh, duh! Anytime
Because
you see wrestlers like that,
they are wrestlers.
Yeah, but they can work in WWE.
Nathan Frazier should be a heel. That's the problem because he comes off like a little shit.
And that's why their dynamic worked in NXT because they had that back and forth. But the main roster has been tougher to do that. But yeah, no, for sure. And there's nothing about Axiom that screams heel. But no, Frazier's
Nathan Frazier could absolutely be it. Also, I really wanted to put this out. He goes way too fucking fast. And if he wasn't as fast as he was, he would have been paralyzed on that flip.
He's the fastest kid alive. So fast.
Literally, like, yeah. But he got so lucky on that backflip. He probably should have rotated and didn't, and he got lucky. And thank God he did, because I don't want to see anybody get paralyzed. But that guy is so fast that I don't think anybody can keep up with him. So just be careful. That's all I'm saying. It ain't ballet, I get it, but also like you're supposed to make it look faster than it actually is. This dude fucking is like the Flash. So it's crazy. Fucking nuts. Anyway, my comeback, I had two different comebacks I could have given this week. They both could have gone to women. They will go to one of them. We didn't talk about one, so we could talk about this, but I was going to say Blake Monroe. But
that's right. She did debut.
Yeah. She's going after Julia and apparently Kiana or whatever. Maybe we'll see.
Studs.
But I don't really love the fact that that's her first iteration of what I like. We could go back and forth on this, but
who would you have done it against? Exactly, it's not a good answer. Julia works because
it had to have been a babyface, right?
Yeah, and Julia's a babyface now,
right?
And it gets Julia away from Kiana pretty quickly. So
that's okay. I buy that, but I feel like
because the other one that made sense would be Charlotte, but Charlotte has
Rhea, but she's MIA.
She's probably. I'm curious what that match is going to be. I think that could be a multi-person match, maybe with like Jade and Charlotte. Lex could get involved. I feel like that one, the SmackDown Women's title is wide open, and who knows, maybe Rhea isn't even going to be back in time. But
is she legitimately injured?
She's legitimately injured.
Oof, that's rough.
Yeah.
What a weird thing for her to have to deal with. But my real comeback is going to be Lyra Valkyria because her promo package I thought was fantastic. She had a little bit of the Bayley character. She had a little bit of the old Nikki Cross in her. She had no makeup on. She looked haggard, as we say in the old Nestle household. Man, I just thought, okay, here's something I can sink my teeth into. Here's something that I can get behind. She's not bad in the ring. I think the one thing I was very critical on her was that some of these bad matches, she was the recipe or part of the recipe for. And maybe some of the reason it was a bad match was because of her. I think a heel character gives her something to do. I think she was slightly floundering in terms of being the bird lady. And we always need evolution in characters. And I think Bayley will help her get to the next iteration of whatever this character is. And I can see her maybe becoming something that we really, really enjoy if they invest in this. And I think the first step is there. They're the heel turn. They've done the package. I'll be curious to see what happens next. I still think she deserves to be on SmackDown, but maybe they like the character on Raw. I don't know, but I'm very excited to see what they do with this person. I want to see her more disheveled and more crazy. And I wanted to see more as it goes along. So that's why she gets my comeback.
Back-to-back comebacks for Lyra, because that's who I gave it to last week as well. But yeah, no, we're on the same page. Big Lyra fans in this podcast. Hopefully they don't fuck it up.
Woo!
Big old finish. Sami Zayn's going to talk on SmackDown. You read the spoilers. I have not. So nothing to preview there. And I don't think they announced anything from Raw. So there we go.
I'm not going to say anything about what happens on SmackDown because
don't do that.
So
don't do that.
Just go watch it on Friday if you're not going to get drunk and watch fireworks. Please don't shoot your fucking hand off on fireworks, by the way, folks. Let's not do that. Okay? All right. fine. Anything else that's
No.
there?
Mark Briscoe's getting his title match on
Oh,
Wednesday.
that's right. Let's go to AEW, my friend. You're right. You're
If Jay Uso won a WWE title, Mark Briscoe could win the AEW World Championship.
Hey, do you want to go to Dynamite on Wednesday, July 15th in Boston?
I'm actually home for them, but no.
Thursday's Collision. We could go to have a good time on Collision on Thursday.
That's not how I want to start my long vacation.
Okay. Anyway, you are right that Mark Briscoe is going to face MJF. Yay.
I will guarantee this. If Mark Briscoe wins the AEW World Championship on Wednesday, I'll never watch AEW again.
Well, that's not great. Also, get ready for Beach Break as Tommaso Ciampa, everyone's favorite wrestler, including JC, is taking on Jericho.
I would rather watch fucking the world explode than watch that match.
Okay, fine. You don't have to get hot about it. We've got, this is a good one for everybody's favorite JC here. We've got the TBS Survival of the Fittest match, TBS Championship. Miyaka, Harley Cameron, Sheeta, Personia, Persephone. I'm terrible at names. Chris Statlander and Queen Anamita. Amanada. All 6 qualified winners will fight, and the winner will become the new TBS champion tomorrow night.
Who was the TBS champion?
Don't know. Probably Willow, if I had to guess.
Did she get hurt? Oh, she got hurt.
Probably.
What was the first name you said?
Maika?
God, I have no idea. Are they going to give it to fucking your girl,
Harley?
Singing girl?
I mean, they should. She's the best looking. And she's
give it to Sheeta.
Sheeta's great too, but
big Sheeta guy.
They got Stat, so who knows?
No, Stat. She just.
I don't know. Is what it is.
I would like to see Stat go to WWE because I think they could do better with. Yeah. They would make her a lot better than she ever was there.
You know why she'll never go to WWE? Just take a look at Jordan Grace. That's why.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that one because she's apparently healthy, but yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, that's what they have advertised so far, but it's fine. I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't care. Dog shit.
Man, AEW is just. Woof.
Can we just get to Ospreay, MJF, and Mercedes Tekla, please?
I think there's going to be a tide change once that happens because I think Mercedes being a focal.
I think Mercedes and Ospreay are both going to win, right?
They have to fucking win. I mean, you need a real star in the women's division. No offense to the Tickler, she's great.
Tekla's been awesome, but it's one of those things. Like I remember when she won, I was shocked, but she's been great to her credit. And she's clearly good in the ring, but it's just like
nobody knows who she is. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And Mercedes comes with the cachet. I mean, she's just like you need more eyeballs on the goddamn product. And Will Ospreay is going to be made in his hometown or whatever, and he's literally the guy everybody wants to be the focal point of the show. So let's let that happen for a while. So I mean, like I feel like we're gonna have to suffer before we enjoy the show again. So and here's hoping. That's positivity on this, but who knows? All right, you ready to get the hell out of here?
Let's go. Bam, bam, ba-dun, dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Hopefully, Sami Zayn lasts longer than this podcast as champion. On that note, thank you for listening and watching the Jobber Knocker podcast. We'll be back next week with some more Jobber Knockery.